This is Nigeria, a country with a population of 229 million people. More black people live here than anywhere else on planet Earth. Nigeria is rich in oil and natural gas. Nigeria has the 11th largest oil reserves in the world, and it is the world's 9th largest exporter of crude oil. Nigeria also happens to be home to the richest black man on planet Earth, Aliko Dangote, and he has just constructed the largest single-train oil refinery in the world. The refinery is based here in Lagos. The refinery took 8 years to construct, and it is now ready to commence the refinement of crude oil. The refinery cost $20 billion to construct. There is one problem, however. Dangote Refinery has no Nigerian crude oil to refine. But hasn't Nigeria got the 11th largest oil reserves in the world? So why can't Dangote Refinery get its oil from Nigeria? You see, it's not very simple. Nigeria has gotten itself in a very bad deal with the international oil companies. Okay, let's just call them what they are. Western oil companies. You see, those Western oil companies have drilling rights in Nigeria's oil industry, and they get a large share of the extracted crude oil, which is then exported globally. Nigeria has 3 oil refineries that are all in states of disrepair. Dangote Refinery is Nigeria's newest and the only one capable of refining crude oil. Nigeria exports crude oil but has to import refined oil from oil companies in Western Europe and the United States of America in order to meet its daily needs. Because of this, Nigeria's oil sector, the main driver of the Nigerian economy, has been held captive by these Western corporations for over 50 years. That is why there is no Nigerian oil for Dangote Refinery to process. Dangote Petroleum Refinery is now being forced to buy crude oil from international oil companies, or should I say, Western oil companies. In a surprise move that shocked Aliko Dangote and Nigerians, the Western oil companies are refusing to sell their oil to Dangote Petroleum Refinery at the international market rate. Instead, they have added $2 to $4 on top of the usual price of a barrel of crude oil. The Nigerian government is also in a row with Aliko Dangote and his refinery, where the Nigerian government is refusing to grant Dangote Refinery its license to start operations. The Nigerian government is saying that Dangote's refinery is still in the licensing stage and that his licensing is only 45% complete, and that the reason why the Nigerian government is stalling is because Aliko Dangote has requested that Nigeria stops importing oil since its refinery can process Nigeria's excess crude oil, which will stop Nigeria's reliance on oil imports from international oil companies, otherwise known as Western oil companies. The Nigerian government has gone on to declare that giving Dangote Petroleum Refinery the sole responsibility of refining Nigeria's crude oil will result in a monopoly in the oil industry. Question is, isn't Nigeria's oil industry already a monopoly? A monopoly of Western international oil companies. Now, let's look at this through an African lens. Let me share with you an African perspective. Dangote Refinery was constructed and is owned by an African man. Dangote Refinery is registered in Nigeria, making it a Nigerian company. The international oil companies, however, are not registered in Nigeria. They are registered in Western countries. Dangote's refinery's goal is to supply Nigerians and other African countries with Nigerian oil. African oil. Isn't Dangote Refinery supposed to be an African success story of excellence and patriotism against all odds? Why then is the Nigerian government standing in the way of a homegrown company that can relieve Nigeria from reliance on imported refined petroleum products? Does the Nigerian government really work for Nigeria? Who is pulling the strings of the Nigerian government? Who does the Nigerian government truly serve? Who really owns Nigeria?